wonderful good morning, everybody, and welcome to our morning briefing show. It's a new trading week and a new trading day. It's May, and we have calendar week 18, and today it's Monday the 2nd, and I'm really happy to have you here back in our morning briefing show from Admirals, the best broker ever. My name is Markus, and I'm really happy to share my knowledge and interesting or experience with you to become successful together as a wonderful community with one goal: to become successful in trading, not only on the short run, even in a long run. So I'm here in my hotel today because in Thailand, I'm placed in Bangkok for the moment. And we have a day off here because it's Labor Day, but it's about 3 days and it will last until Wednesday. So therefore, they have a special behavior. There is no air conditioning in the offices while they have day offs. So it's almost 30 degrees in the office. Actually, you cannot work by 30 degrees. It's absolutely not possible. So actually, I'm here in my hotel room. I have, I guess, stable Wi-Fi, so we can work together. Yeah, at the same moment, we stream this show on YouTube as well. So if you have any questions, or then you can type it below. Here you can subscribe the button in the right corner. You can subscribe the channel. You can give us a like if you want. You can leave a comment below this video. If you want that I analyze some of your trades, then type it after the show below this video on YouTube with the entry, the exit, the currency, or the product. And then we can talk about it for the next time. I'm really happy to do this for you. So LC Relaction, good morning. Andre, good morning. Ute, Cayetano, Mr. Sanchez, I guess. Wonderful, good morning. Greetings here from Bangkok. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. And then we can go on. So just a moment. So a little bit difficult because I have my monitor here. So here is the chat also from Zoom. Wonderful, good morning. Here, who is with me? Petya, Igoris, Krasimir, wonderful, good morning. Nice to have you here. Hartmut, good morning. Tina, Raquel, Janos, William, Jens, Darshan, Rainer, Vasilina, good morning. Nice to have you here, Darshan. And Dimitar and Del, wonderful, good morning. So now let's go, and we will start with a view at the upcoming events this morning. So just a moment, my mouse is, here we go. So first of all, let's have a look at the upcoming events today. And here we go. We see today we expect a business and consumer survey, and this morning at 11 o'clock. Then the ISM report on business at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And what is more important is tomorrow morning, from in this night, your night, by the way, in the morning, 6:30, we expect the Australian cash rate decision. And the previous one is 0.1, and the forecast is actually they don't want to change something there. So that could be about the Australian dollar, very interesting, because we saw the last week, quite a rising, stronger Australian dollar, and was really, really important. Or maybe, yeah, let's have a look at the charts, and then we have a closer look. So in case you want to be well informed, then I would suggest that you follow the channel, Admirals channel on Telegram, and there you have any information you ever need. You have the links. You can click on those links directly, then you get to the webinars. You can join, or a lot of other interesting valuable content. If you're more a fan of Twitter, then you can follow Admirals on Twitter also. And there will find everything what you need, especially if you click here on Admirals Global, then you have all information. Okay, with this in our mind, let's go to our charts. And as always, we want to start with the DAX 10 minutes, because kind of a day trading. So, and yeah, to be honest, we had on Friday much pressure on the markets. So the price went down, but during the rest of the day, you could see we were in a kind of sideways phase. So nothing happens. And we remain, actually, we still remain in or within the red zone. So price of one contract is not too expensive and not too cheap. And yes, this is Roman. Greetings to Helsinki. That's nice. Afshin, good morning also. So let's have a look at the, I have to delete this first, sorry. No, come on. My mouse is not really working. So here we go. So let's go to the DAX 10 minutes. So I apologize for my technique this morning, but if you're on travel, then sometimes it is like it is. You know, this is absolutely live every morning. So here you can see how you could work in DAX 10 minutes since Friday. In case you had a long position in your DAX 10 minutes, a little bit out, and you start your trading here in the second trend arm here, and this it was last week, and then you trade your stop loss here to the last 0.3, then you went out on Friday. But at the same time, there was a wonderful possibility to short in the second trend arm, and that was here. In case you had a stop loss above this last 0.3, which is absolutely technically correct, then you get out with a small loss, possibly. But it was the third trend arm, which means that you could make a re-entry here, and that was also here possible after this one, or maybe here around about this, and then you had the chance to go short, and you see then you are still in, and the last perfect 0.3 is at that point here at this point, and there you have your stop loss right now. So which means you cannot lose money, because this is the last 0.3, and yeah, then you are safe with your trade. And you see, if you give the market a responsibility to show you how far the trends can go, sometimes they can go more and more farther than you, or more further than you can imagine in your mind. So always, this is always what I used to teach you. Let the market decide how much money you will get. Sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. But what we are doing is to follow the price. We don't predict the price. That can do the analysts. They can predict whatever in the future will happen. As a trend follower, you are a trend follower, which means you are not a price or trend predictioner. You are a follower, which means you see what happens on the right side of the chart, and then you can follow. This is what we have to do. So, and the market shows us where the trend will break, and the trend will break at the last 0.3 and not earlier. And if you understand how to, how to draw the trend properly, then you know when it comes to a new trend, maybe in the first place as a corrective trend, then you can do it also. But the market will show you when the previous or the main trend will break. I know this could be really hard, that you say, I'm so far in profit right now, I don't want to let the price work against me. I don't want to do this. I understand this is the human part in trading, but it's really annoying if you trail your stop closer, not based on technical correctness, just about your humanity. And then the trend is continuing and you cannot follow anymore because now 1, 2, 3, it's the fourth trend arm. Yeah, and you're working against the point of control. Then it's really annoying because then you really miss a lot of money. So always calculate your money management, that you still are in a kind of comfort zone. And afterwards, then you can follow the trade completely neutral without any kind of emotions. This is what a trend follower has to do, basically. So let's go to our focus charts and top instruments from Admiral. And of course, we start in 4-hourly chart with a view at the Bitcoin. And in Bitcoin, you can see we are still in the main trend. There is nothing changed since last week. The green one is still the big main trend. And the correction is still running in its corrective own trend. So, and there was no trend continuation here because there was no close below the last 0.3. And by the way, the trend, the main trend, will break here at this purple line. That's the last 0.3. So, and for example, if you went in here, so like me, and in case you didn't trail your stop closer like me here, then you have a stop loss at the last 0.3, which means you are in loss. But at the same time, if you catch the second trend arm on the down, you have big profits. And this is what, as private traders, what we have to do, follow every trend. And finally, let the market decide how much money you will get, because you will never know how far the trend will go. In this short position, in case you open the trade here in the second trend arm, then the stop loss is here. So I'm waiting now for maybe a new uptrend, which is not happening right now. And then I can trade within the main trend to the upper side. If the trend will continue and will break the main trend, then this corrective trend, right now it's a corrective trend, will become the new main trend. Let's go to the Dow Jones. And this is here, Dow Jones. So in Dow Jones, as you can see, it's more a downtrend. Is it or is it not? For this, to figure it out perfectly, we have to draw the trend. So this is first trend arm with a 0.2. 0.3, is it confirmed yet? Therefore, we have to see, do we have a trend continuation here right now? Yes. In the meantime, there we have clear closes below the last 0.2, which means now we have a valid downtrend. Come on. Okay, my mouse is not really working. So you see, okay, let's do it so. Yeah, so now we have a valid downtrend in Dow Jones, which means rule number 1 is absolutely fulfilled. So now we are waiting for the correction, at the best more than 38%. Then we're waiting for rule number 4, a balance candle, and then we can follow this downtrend to the lower side. I know we are trading away from point of control, but that doesn't matter. We have to follow the trend and not to predict or to analyze or to judge something else. We just have to follow the rules and then the trend. So therefore, maybe I'm not sure today could be a little bit depending from the Fed decision we have on Wednesday this week. Very important topic. But we'll see if the rules are there, we have to do it. Let's come to DAX 40 in 4-hourly chart. Yeah, and here we have a clear downtrend, much more clear than in Dow Jones. And the same procedure, we start at the top. Then we had the first point 2, first point 3, second point 2, and second point 3. So in case you are not in right now, we can trail the stop loss, or we can trail an entry order here on the way down, in case the DAX will continue this trend to the lower side. And if not, if we see higher prices, then we are not in, and we can delete the order again, and then we can see if the price will going up. So this is what we can do in DAX 40, because second trend arm, all rules fit. So we have to make this trade. I will do it after this show. Let's come to gold, number 4 of our top instruments, with lightning execution and of course very, very less spread. And in gold, you know, we have 2 trends. The main trend is still facing downwards. And on the right side of the chart, you can see as another downtrend. And we have the same procedure here. You see, first move, first correction, second move, second correction, and third move, and a third correction, but no break, because it was not a real close. So, and here you can see why I used to say at the last point 3, once you are in profit and once you have a trend continuation, then you should work with a kind of soft stop, which means a mental stop, or you set an alarm. Then, because the market used to test point T, point 2, and point 3 all the time. They want to know if they are awaiting more buyers or sellers. And you see there, always you have these spikes. And if you have a real stop loss there, then you are out. And it doesn't matter, and it's not a problem if you find the re-entry. But in case you are very emotionally in your trading and you take it personally, the stop loss, then you don't find a second entry. And this is really annoying, because the point of control, the fair price in gold 4-hourly chart, is down at 1,791 points, dollars by one future contract. So the direction is really clear, and the probability is also relatively clear, because you can see the point of control is much lower. And you know, as you follow this show for a couple of times, then you know that we used to go back to the point of control, especially if the price was really, really expensive or cheap in an extreme position, and then the price come back. So, and I'm speculating or observing and watching that the trend will continue to the lower side. Last but not least, we have Euro USD, and then we come to my running trades and of course to your questions. Let's see Euro USD. In Euro USD, we have a long running downtrend, and this is a perfect example, a really perfect example for a trend following system and how you can make money. Yeah, and the first step, you could use the distance to the lower side. Then maybe you get out here anywhere. And then you could use a second one, and you have a second trend to the lower side. You could make 2 times money with this short position. And now you are still in. And if you're still in this short position, then you know the last point 3 is, where is it? Let's see. The last point 3 actually is here. So now we figure out, okay, we are really deep in the green zone. Yeah, and maybe the point of control is really far away on the upper side, which means I am waiting for a new uptrend to make the distance up to the point of control. This is actually what I'm waiting for. And if not, then the trend will continue to the lower side. It could be also kind of depending of the rate decision on Wednesday about euro up over the Fed, of course. So let me see questions on YouTube. Let's see. Could you look at Dow Jones 30? I did. Nasdaq 100 hourly chart. Isn't the downtrend lower lows and lower highs? Yes, it is. How is that a downtrend with lower lows and higher highs on that 10-minute DAX? Therefore, you have to learn how to draw the trend properly because trend drawing follows logical principles. Okay, let me see. You want to know Nasdaq 100 in 1 hourly chart. So let's see. And do it in 1 hourly chart. Here we go. Basically, in Nasdaq 1 hourly chart, it's still a downtrend. It's still a downtrend, and we come from completely upside. And the trend was never broken, never, ever. It's still in a downtrend. And here on the right side of the chart, it's also still a downtrend. So the only positive thing, or the only thing what we can imagine that we have rising prices in Nasdaq 100 hourly chart is that we are deep in the green zone and the point of control is up here at this point. So for a long position, you don't have the rules on your side. You know, we have 4 rules: valid trend, young trend, which means second trend arm. Then out of the correction should run more than 38%, and then waiting for a balance candle, and then you can set your pending order, stop buy or stop sell. But here in Nasdaq 100, it's still a short, and if you are still in, just let it go, because trends can longer continue than we can ever imagine in our wildest dreams. So this is what I have learned from trend followers. Never judge, never analyze, never interpret, just follow what you see. And as long as I cannot see a new trend, I follow the short position. Okay, come to your questions. British pound and Swiss franc. I have it on my list too, because I make some notes this morning. And British pound Swiss franc is also on my list for, here we go, for a long, I guess a long position. But it's in 4 hourly chart. Yeah, and there, here we go. It's a wonderful trend. And here you can see it on the right side of the chart. It's a very good situation because we are in the green zone. So, and that's the trend. I show you. Green one, we start at the lowest point. It's here. And then there. And now you have the second trend arm. And this is rule number 1. Now you have a valid trend. And now we are waiting for a correction at best deeper than 38%, then a balance candle, and then we can set our order. And then we can speculate over trend continuation, British pound, Swiss franc. This is what we have to do. Therefore, British pound, Swiss franc is also on my list. Okay, so my question of today before we come to the running trades, and Anna, if you want, we can open the question of today. And you know, my Monday question is always the same. And my question of today is, what are your trading goals for this week? I will stick to the rules under all circumstances, or I want to start writing a handwritten diary. Yeah, finally, you know, I told you very often, that you should make your own notes, not about the trades. That's entry exit. That for that you have a MetaTrader journal you can calculate and you can evaluate on. But to make your notes and to make your own to control your own progress, you should make handwritten notes on your handwritten diary. And therefore, maybe this could be your goals. Does all rules apply same to all assets? Of course, because everything what you do in trading is trading the price. So I have still open Australian dollar, Japanese yen. And here we go. We are still in the uptrend, and the corrective downtrend is already broken. So therefore, it's still one trend there, and this is the main trend, and this is the uptrend. So therefore, you see, I have a purple line. That's the so-called soft stop at the last 0.3. So therefore, I didn't get out. I'm still in. I don't know what happens next, but now I have to see, okay, it's still the uptrend. The corrective downtrend is already broken. So still one trend, and that's the uptrend. Next one, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Actually in an uptrend too, but there was no trend continuation here. Because you see, let me do this. You see, there was no close above the last 0.2. They are playing a game there. And now you always imagine if you are a big guy in the market and you want to sell or you want to make money by selling your profits, which means you have long positions, which means you need to sell. And if you want to sell, you need buyers. So what are you doing? You play a game at the 0.2 and you make a trick. You let the market know, oh, we want to go long. So when everybody is buying, but if you want to buy something, you need to sell. Yeah, you need sellers. So who wants to sell? Yes, exactly, the big guys. They want to sell. That's the trick of the market. But that does not mean that the trend will not continue finally. It's not my job to interpret. It's just to follow my trend. So, and my stop loss is above the last 0.3. And as long as it cannot see a contrary trend, I have to do exactly nothing. Just follow, nothing to do. I know this is the hard stuff in trading, by the way. So Euro Australian dollar, we are still in a long position. And on Friday, at the rest of the Friday, we saw a lot of buyers there. A lot of buyers for Euro. And actually, we are going to continue this trend. Let's see if this will happen. Euro Japanese yen, yeah, the same like in Australian dollar Japanese yen. We are still in a long position. There was no trend continuation here, but there was also contrary trend correction, but it's not really working. So let it go, just in a long position. The same is valid for Euro New Zealand dollar. And my gosh, here we are going to continue already the trend. And it's the fourth trend on, no, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's the fourth trend on here. And you see, I did pyramid here, and now it's working. Let's see if you see a trend continuation. Then we can trail both stop loss to the last 0.3, which means the one is out of risk and the other one is reducing risk. On the other side, New Zealand Canadian dollar is still going short. Maybe we see another trend continuation. That's cool. Yeah, and the US dollar Japanese yen is still going up. We are 1,479 pips in profit right now. And actually, there was a trend continuation. And we are a little bit in the correction. And you know, we need corrections. We need this kind of volatility because volatility is a part of a trend. So never be scared about volatility. And you know, a lot of traders try to avoid volatility, but this is not logically because volatility is a part of the trend. If you don't have volatility, you cannot have a trend. Yeah, that's what we have to do and what we have to learn. Okay, so yeah, okay, I answered all your questions. Okay, so my question of today, actually, what are your trading goals for this week? So we had 75%. I will stick to the rules under all circumstances. I wish you good luck and a lot of power. And if you're the real why, then you can get it. And I want to start writing a handwritten diary, 25%. And I can highly recommend to start with writing your own diary. I want to say thank you for listening again and starting this week. We will see each other tomorrow at the same time. And tomorrow, I guess I'm in the office. I'm back in the office. So I wish you all the best. And as always, have courage and be kind. And may the force of the rules be with you. See you tomorrow.